welcome to Solutions. I'm Eileen Preston, and Solutions is a show about our community and the challenges we face, and the people and organizations stepping up to make some solutions. So it's a new year and a new decade, and with that, we will face challenges. And Solutions wants to talk a little bit personally now about our internal challenges, how we find the energy to step up. And we're going to talk about health and healthy habits, wellness, and getting strong, which is why we have our guest today, PattyBurke. Patricia Burke is a certified, licensed coach and health and wellness expert. She's also a Falmouth resident, and thanks for being here, Patty.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great. I have to give you a full disclosure. I am a junkie on this kind of stuff, and resolutions are my favorite thing to do every year. This year I made 20 for 2020. So I'm gonna geek out on this one, all right? Whether I make them all or not.
Okay.
So I'm happy to talk about all these healthy habits. And so for people who are not as nerdy as I am about lifestyle changes, habits that we can do, can you talk a little bit about what you do as a coach?
Sure, I can. So for those who don't know, coaches are basically masters of habit change. So we can work in many different areas for our clients. For me, I work with busy parents and professionals who feel depleted, tend to run out of time for themselves, and their health is suffering. So I help them to increase their productivity and implement healthy lifestyle habits for the long term. And we do that together through self-care and motivational and mindset changes. And it's all about goal setting and holding a safe space for my clients and giving them the accountability and support and education around nutrition, fitness, stress reduction, things like that.
So you have a website, right? Whole Body Focus, and I read it. I love it. And you have recipes on it, so that's a little hot tip. We're going to have a little recipe later. Patty has offered to help us with. So your website is about energy. There's a lot of blogs about that and how to get it, how to keep it. You really believe it's possible to get youthful energy back?
At any age.
Tell me how.
Okay, we are going to get to the science on that. And I just want to invite your audience to pull out a piece of paper and pen, because we are going to structure this as almost like a coaching session. So there'll be some valuable tips you can implement into your own life. So yes, unfortunately, our energy can decrease with certain factors, with aging, with health conditions, with emotional drain and stress. So we'll be hitting upon some of those factors in more detail in a minute. But the good news is that we can regain it at any time in our life.
Okay.
It is possible.
All right.
Yes, and it's not about the amount of energy we have, it's the quality. And so it takes some self-examination, and it takes some evaluating for where you need the most energy in your life. For instance, if you're an athlete, you need a lot of physical energy. If you are a social worker or a teacher or a medical professional, you need a lot of emotional energy to be available. So we want to be able to strike that balance depending on what your job is. So, and you know, and what your age and where your desires are.
So talk to me about the factors. What are the factors?
Well, there are factors, right, that can impact our energy. So there's basically four. I've broken it down to four. First one is lifestyle. So this is the food that we're putting in our body, the environment that we're surrounding ourselves with, or the people we're surrounding ourselves with. That can either pull down our energy or bring up our energy. It depends on the amount of sleep, our sleep hygiene. That, of course, we could be getting very fatigued if we're not getting quality sleep or the right amount of sleep for our body. Our hydration is really important for energy, extremely important for our organ function, our muscle strength, and our just overall energy. So there's lifestyle factors. Second one is balancing our blood sugar.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there is such
a tricky one.
That is a tricky one. And that's where, you know, coaches and your nutritionists and doctors can help you to determine what's best for your body. But in general, it's good to have a balance of healthy food choices. So not your simple carbohydrates. We want to avoid the sugars and the quick hits that will raise our glucose levels. That will raise our energy and give us a hyper feeling only for the short term. Then eventually our insulin will drop and we'll have that slump during the day. That's when we are at risk for grabbing the cupcakes or the unhealthy food or alcohol drink or the caffeine, and that's not so good. So we want to be able to have more of a straight line, and just by eating regularly, a snack every 3 hours, and just a healthy, balanced protein, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats.
Great.
So that's balancing the blood sugar.
Right.
We then want to thirdly look at stress. Ways that stress are affecting our life, and it can pull our emotional energy down. Let me just look at my notes. For the fourth one is health conditions. You know, that can zap our energy if we're dealing with a type 2 diabetes or sleep apnea, thyroid conditions, hormone imbalances, all kinds of, you know, health issues can be a factor in our energy.
So those are the 4 factors, and then you also have 4 steps for success. So to line us up, so line me up.
Line you up, babe. Okay. We'll get ready for the new year.
Right.
We'll get our pencil.
Step 1?
Step 1 is determine your own desired outcome.
Okay.
Okay, so we want to figure out where is it that I want to gain more energy? What do I want in my life? Do I want to be able to get rid of the napping that I do every afternoon? I know that was hitting me when I was a young mom. That was really tough for me to get through the day. And sometimes our body goes through that cycle, and we have to give ourselves permission to take a time out. That's fine. But if you're having chronic fatigue or you're acting out, you're not thinking clearly. Getting cranky, argumentative. When we're fatigued and don't have energy, we can get argumentative with our kids or combative at work. So if you're noticing you're not a team player as much as you want to be, you know, you want to then set your own goal. Figure out an outcome that you want for yourself, and you can ask a couple of important questions for yourself. So a coaching tip for this first step is to take 5 minutes tonight and reflect on the following questions. So you can keep a little journal at your bedside. I like to do that because sometimes my imagination and my mind opens up when I'm relaxed at night. It's nice to have a little notepad next to your bed, and you can take notes. So it's important to reflect, what is it, you know, where in my life, where in my day am I being challenged? And are there people or an environment that is zapping my energy from me?
Okay, so your desired outcome in step 1 is energy, and you're saying to yourself, why do I want more energy?
Why do I want more?
And why don't I have it?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. So that's all that goal setting piece.
Okay.
And it's important, that's what keeps us motivated too. So for any goal that you're starting to set, we want to tap into the why. You know, why do I really want this? Well, for energy, you know, we may want energy for a stronger body, so that we can think clearer, so that we can play with our grandchildren, so that we can just enjoy and have more enriched experiences in our life. So when we have that reminder every day, you can keep it in your journal, that will keep you motivated to line up your actions each day so that they will get you to your desired outcome.
That's wonderful. So is that your coach tip for step
the
one?
step one.
So we can move on to step two.
Yes.
Okay. and
Let's cover step
What
two.
is step two? And give us a coach tip for that one as well.
Okay. So step two is examination. What is worrying you? What is not working in your life? And identify the areas of challenge or sabotage or the environment that you have set up around you. And I like to break it down this way. Just think of your 5 senses, because it's what we take in through our 5 senses that affects our brain, and our brain, of course, affects our actions, and then how our body, is going to feel, and it'll affect our behaviors. So, for instance, thinking of the 5 senses.
Right.
What am I hearing all day that could be throwing me off my game? Am I hearing too much politics on the TV? Do I constantly have distractions going on? Am I looking at Facebook too much? Is that draining me? Is it pulling me away from concentrating on what's healthy for my own body?
I love that you talk about sabotage, because I think, you can get sabotaged by other people, but often you sabotage yourself.
Exactly.
Facebook is a good example.
Yep.
Just not getting stuff done. Busy
And
with
negative
sabotage.
talk, and also through
Yeah.
sabotage can be negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not good enough. This will never work for me. And then that can lower your energy and then stop you in your tracks before you have a chance to.
So your coach's tip for that.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Evaluate what gives you energy. See if extra water helps. See if see if a quick morning walk. I like to have a regular morning routine that gives me a quick win. And I have 2 quick wins.
What do you do?
Tips.
Yeah, I wanna
Make
know.
my bed. Just take 1 minute to make up my bed, and I know that's nice and neat, and it just feels organized, and I know it'll be comfortable when I hop in at night. Second one is, in the shower every morning, I do push-ups against the wall. And I know I'm doing a quick arm workout.
You're in shape.
20 little wall push-ups, and that's a quick win.
All right.
And just get a little breathing going, and a little cool water at the end of your shower. So that matters. So you want to have a morning routine that is going to energize you and really get you in a good mood for the day. Sets the tone for the day.
I love it. Yeah.
Identify possible sabotage.
Right.
It could be people-related or environment-relaed. Clear out the cabinets. If you have Doritos in there and Cheetos and junk food, get rid of it and rehash your cabinets. That's a type of sabotage if it's unhealthy. And then emotions. We want to evaluate the high emotions, the lows. What's really affecting. When do I get bothered and stressed out and overwhelmed and burdened, and then just try to break it down, and then once you know the problem, you can then take steps to address it.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay. So
Okay.
step 3. Are we ready?
So step 3.
Get your pencils.
Get the pencils ready. So for step 3, we don't want to be overwhelmed. And what I recommend is we take small action steps on a consistent basis.
Okay.
So in our coaching world, we call it striving for that 1% improvement.
Oh, really small stuff.
Each day or each week. And we have a saying in our coaching world, small hinges open large doors. So all those small efforts built upon each other will then give you a larger desired outcome. So you mentioned resolutions.
Yeah.
Now, some people can get really overwhelmed by resolutions.
yeah.
And some people by mid-February, they give up
Yeah.
because it can be too overwhelming. So what I advise for my clients is to just break into small little action items for yourself. Like try to create the type of person that you want to be. What does that healthy person do Well, they have a morning routine. They prep their meals and they put them in the freezer.
They put push-ups in the shower.
They make protein bars,
Right,
like we're
right.
gonna do,
Yes.
and you bring it for an afternoon snack.
Yeah.
You get a little half-hour walk in nature 2 times a week. So it's these small little things that you want to achieve on a consistent basis. That's the key, because that's how we train our brain. Science tells us it takes 3 months to change a habit. And the way that happens is by doing small, consistent activities all in a row for about 3 months, 6 months. That's when all of a sudden things will feel easy. And all of a sudden you'll see a whole new lifestyle.
And
Okay.
it's small, so it doesn't hurt so much, right?
doesn't
it's a
hurt.
little bit. Yeah,
Exactly.
great. Okay,
Little bit goes a long way.
I love it.
So coaching tip is to be intentional
Okay.
and work through your emotions, okay, by journaling or calling a friend. So when you're in an emotional high state, have some tools to turn to. Deep breathing exercises are really important. I reference a 5-5-7 breath. So it's inhale through your nose for 5 seconds, hold it for 5, and then slowly exhale through your mouth for 7 seconds.
Okay.
By taking in oxygen, it reboots our nervous system.
Bit of science.
Yeah, a little bit of
Okay.
science there.
Okay.
Choose one action to do tomorrow and every day this week. Okay, that will be something enjoyable for yourself or something that will help your energy. So an action could be go to bed early, 1 hour earlier than you normally do, or get up 1 hour earlier, set that alarm. Just block out in your schedule 3 times to take a half-hour walk. You know, put your face up to the sunshine, let those rays get in. So set, and I challenge you to do that for this week, 3 action items
Okay.
that you can do for yourself.
All right.
And then practice some mindfulness and some meditation. When we allow ourselves space, and it's important to give our space, it could be 10 minutes a day or a half hour a day. That's when our brain will refire and recharge, when we can just drop all the worries, drop all the pressures, put the phone down, and just sit, listen to music, listen to your breath, and practice some mindfulness.
Yeah. Now, I do meditate, and I do believe in it. I think it's
do too.
wonderful. And you
I
look
do
forward
too.
to it, you know, like just even if it's
I
10
love it.
minutes. You
Oh,
think,
I love
well,
it.
later I can meditate this away.
I call it my happy time.
Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good way to recharge. Very
So we have
important.
step 4?
Step 4, we're getting there. Step 4 is to set up support and accountability. So that's what a coach does, but you can do it for yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so this will help us to stay in alignment with our desired goals. Keep us on track with our behaviors and action steps.
So how do we become personally accountable rather than say we don't have somebody we can say, geez, you know, can you make sure I don't,
Yeah.
you know, have that
That's the
second
thing.
cocktail? Maybe you have to be by yourself and do
Yes,
that.
yes.
How do you do that? Accountable
Well,
to
you
yourself.
spoke about having someone. So you can be accountable 2 ways. You can bring in someone
Bring in your
to
buddy,
help you out,
right.
and you can ask that buddy or your spouse or a friend for each week to like send you a text or give you a call
Okay.
and just check in and ask a couple of questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that you're giving them permission, for instance, to, hey, you know, Mary, call me once a week, ask me, hey, Eileen, how are you doing? You know, I'm checking in on your accountability. How are you doing on those 3 action items that you wrote in your journal? And it's okay, you know, and we don't want to put shame around this. We don't want to fib. We want to have complete honesty and understanding and forgiveness. That is key for bringing our health to the next level.
I like it. Yeah, that's a
Okay.
great one. Yeah.
So other people can help to hold us accountable, and we give them permission to do that. Other ways that we can do it ourselves is to keep little notes. Keep little notes around some visuals. Again, so I did mention bringing in the 5 senses, because that's what triggers our brain and our behaviors. So we want to think of eyesight. What are we looking at each day? So you want to put your sneakers maybe in a nice visual spot. Hang an outfit that might not fit anymore. Hang it in a visual spot in your bedroom. And put up little Post-it notes and reminders of, did I do my walk today? Did I prep my meal? You can do reminders, you're doing great, keep the smile going.
Great. Yeah, that's nice.
So you can have little positive affirmations as well for that support and accountability.
Great coach's tip for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got all the steps down, and what do you think is the most important thing people need to think about when they approach a coach? Do you think they?
Okay.
Yeah.
What I urge them to think about is what's important in their life.
Okay.
Okay, where is there an area that they feel could use some up-leveling? Now, there are coaches in many different areas. Career coaches,
Right.
financial wellness coaches,
Right.
health coaches, life coaches, all kinds. I specialize in health coach. And it's funny, when people's health is doing well, then it affects all other areas of their life.
That's true.
It helps them to think clearer. So it helps them to be more productive at work. It helps their relationships. It helps them to be more grateful and show gratitude and open up their heart. They have more energy. They have better moods. They feel more confident and strong in their body. They can go out and bike ride
Right.
with their children and grandchildren and go swimming and do all
joy, yeah.
and bring more joy and abundance into their life.
And you walk the walk a little bit, right? Because you have your own personal health story. Do you want to share that?
I do.
Mhm.
Sure. Well, I developed a strong passion for wellness about 21 years, almost exactly 21 years ago.
Okay.
It's when my third child was born. And at that time, prior to that, I was a very active mom, very athletic, involved in tennis and volunteering at the kids' school, and everything was going great. And all of a sudden, my body crashed, and my spirit crashed, and I didn't know it hit me. And it was terrible. I couldn't interact with my kids. My moods were terrible. My husband would come in after work and want to turn around and go right back to his office. It's like, I don't know who this person is. I couldn't sleep at night. My hair was falling out. I was sleeping all afternoon and couldn't sleep at night. So I realized something's drastically wrong. I tried to seek medical attention. Sometimes it didn't always work. So I turned to the holistic community. And I had some support from some integrative medicine doctors. And
Do you just want to talk about what integrative medicine is exactly?
Sure. Integrative and functional medicine, it's a holistic where these are trained professionals who help us to get to the root cause of our symptoms.
Okay.
And so there's some testing that can be involved, some hair follicle testing, saliva testing, all kinds of, testing your gut health. And I had some hormone tests done. Ended up and they tested 3 or 4 times a month, whereas the regular protocol through the doctor didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they found that I had very, very low. All my basic hormones were crashed, 0. Wow. So I was prescribed a natural hormone cream. This was made out of plant-based yams. It was not chemical-based. This was way back before Suzanne Summers was doing her natural hormones. I was doing that. It helped to regain my energy, and I realized lifestyle changes had to be put into effect. So my husband was a great support. He gave me the time and permission to go out, get a personal trainer, start to build up your body strength. And I did that. I devoted a lot of time and energy to healthy food, wedged out time in my calendar for prepping the food, preparing it for my family, some workout times, time for acupuncture. I was getting a lot of injuries. Come to find out I had undiagnosed Lyme disease.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you were really struggling.
So
Yeah.
really struggling, and that is a condition that is ongoing now. Since I didn't catch it right away, I now have to maintain this healthy lifestyle, keep my immune system up, my body strong, and really great nutritional food for my body, and then that keeps me healthy and it keeps the Lyme disease at bay.
And how long before you felt a big turnaround?
It was up and down, and this can be a trial and error. It was probably this has been a 20-year journey, probably about 5 years into it. I really realized this is my new life, and I love it.
So worth it.
And I'm happy,
right? Look at the results,
and so worth
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And you get used to the routine probably of
I
good
do.
health,
I
right?
do.
Pretty soon it's pretty normal.
And then within 5 years ago, I decided, as my younger one went into college, that I had all this new life ahead of me. What am I going to do? So this is transitional. This is for career coaches. And I did it on myself through my meditation. I realized, what am I going to do? You know, what really brings me joy? And I realized wellness and being with people, sharing with people brings me joy. And that's how I wanted to spend the rest of my life. So I decided to go for my certification for health and life coaching. Great. And I open my own practice and I work with clients and with groups.
So you're here in Falmouth, so if people want to learn more about you, they can go to your website, wholebodyfocus.com. Great, and you've got a great blog, and you've got great recipes.
Absolutely.
And you talk about rewarding yourself, which brings us to the recipes. So I think you generously offered to cook something for us that you think is a healthy snack that we should. So
it's called my banana, peanut butter, chocolate chip protein bars.
Brilliant. Shall we?
Yes, we
All right,
shall.
let's take the long walk to the kitchen.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
we'll get some aprons. Now these are gluten-free,
yes,
is that right?
Dairy-free and gluten-free. I eat these, you know, too much grain and processed flour can actually drain our energy. And dairy can be a little bit discomforting to our digestive system. And by the way, when our digestive system isn't working properly, that can drain our energy. So this is a really healthy snack that still tastes good, and it will help give us energy, especially for in the afternoon when we have those 3 o'clock dips of energy. Whoops. We can pull out this snack. You can pre-package it at home, put it in the freezer, and then pull it out and put it in your work bag and be able to snack on it in the afternoon.
And the kids might like it
And
because
the
it's
kids
got
might like it.
chocolate in it.
Yes, and banana and all yummy ingredients.
All right, so let's start. What do we do here?
Okay, so we'll start with our recipe.
Let's talk about the ingredients in this.
Yes.
We need ripe bananas.
Ripe bananas, yes. And we're gonna just grab a mixing bowl and we will put our bananas in the mixing bowl. 2 bananas, 2.5.
2.5, and they can be fresh or frozen, is that right?
Yes,
okay,
correct.
Great.
I usually freeze my older, usually mine are very brown. So instead of throwing them away, just put them in the freezer, and you can use them for banana breads or these protein bars.
So what is the protein in it? Is it the Is it the almond or peanut butter?
There's combination of protein. It's going to be through the peanut butter, and through our protein powders. I like to use the Thorn, and I also like to use Vega, or whatever protein. I use a plant-based. There's either whey, soy, or plant-based protein powders. So whatever you find works for your digestive system. I like the plant-based ones.
Okay.
Okay.
And can we make it without the protein, or we really need to put the protein in it?
I really like to, but you can experiment with this recipe.
Okay.
And pull out some of the ingredients, but I like that component in there.
And this sticky stuff, you want to tell people what this is about?
This is a combination of your sweetener. So natural sweeteners I like to use, which are maple syrup. This is a combination of maple syrup and honey. So let me just, sorry, I'm grabbing.
Okay, great.
Okay. And we'll just pour that combination.
I like that combination because that must have a nice flavor to it, right?
It does, it does. And I like the real maple syrup and not the corn syrup one, maple. And that's 1/3 cup. So we can start to blend that. What else? We can add our vanilla.
Do you want to add it in here or into this milk?
Yeah, why don't you add it into the almond milk? Sure.
So this is a teaspoon of vanilla into the almond milk.
Yes, yes.
All right, great. And I'll start doing the heavy work.
Yep. So we're just going to blend that together. That's good.
Do you need it to be very smooth?
No, that's good.
So chunky is good.
Chunky's good for now.
Great.
So we have some dry ingredients that we pre-measured out.
Okay.
And so let me just show you what these are. We have our baking powder.
Yeah, teaspoon of baking powder.
Yeah, and we'll just add that to the gluten-free flour. Now, instead of gluten-free flour, you can use almond flour.
Okay.
Okay. And then we have our cinnamon.
Yes,
You
a
can
half a teaspoon of cinnamon.
Add
right?
that
Yeah.
in. Yep.
And then you've got your protein and your oats.
And protein powder and our oats. So I like to do a combination of our dry ingredients and a little bit of our liquid, and then we'll be blending.
Okay.
And then some dry ingredients, a little bit of, and we'll just take turns doing that. So why don't
And
you
why
do
do you
half
do
of-
that? Why do you mix it up like that?
It just helps the mixer go a little smoother because
did not know that.
this is going to get thick.
Oh, okay.
So a little, this was a trick my Italian mom showed me.
well done.
For baking all kinds of recipes is
All right.
just to alternate the liquid and the dry ingredients. Okay?
All right.
Okay, so now we'll finish, do this, and some liquid.
And then we have preheated the oven.
Oh yes, so we're gonna preheat the oven. We're gonna bake
And you also made more.
350. Okay. So we're gonna preheat the oven.
To 325.
350.
350.
Yep, 350.
Okay. All right.
All right.
And you want to spray a pan?
Yes, we'll spray the pan. Oh, we didn't add the egg. Now, we don't have to do it today, but it's optional. We can add the egg.
Okay.
But we don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
But I would do it in the beginning when we had the banana.
Okay.
But we're going to fold in
The chocolates.
our chocolate. About a half a cup.
That's magical,
That's
yep.
magical. So we are going to, these are the mini ones, but normally you can use just the regular semi-sweet, the Nestle chocolate bits.
Okay.
About a half a cup. And we'll fold those in, and we will spray our pan.
I can spray if you like. You wanna
Yes, I
spray,
like
or
organic.
You want to mix
And try to
both?
buy organic. I
Organic.
recommend organic.
All right.
Whenever you can.
It really comes out straight.
Oh, these are going to be nice.
Well, it's got everything in it I like.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, how can you not like banana and chocolate?
So you can just
Peanut
put these
butter.
in parchment paper, stick them in your freezer.
Oh, yes. So once they're cooked, and I'll show you that. So you're going to put them in your pan. It's kind of like making brownies at this point. I recommend an 8 by 12. It's on my blog, an 8 by 12 pan. This one's a little bit large. And you just spread them out like brownies. And
They get a little crunchy, do they?
well, you'll see. Yeah, they actually get very moist.
Okay.
It's going to be like a dense kind of a brownie kind of effect once we're done. And then those go in the oven
We pop those in.
for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25.
All right. We go pop that there.
And voila.
And it looks like there's something special in here that you already made for
I
us.
did.
Wait, let me just get you a mitt so that you don't burn yourself. I think they're right over there.
Okay.
There you go.
Got it?
That's good enough. I can do it with one.
Okay.
Oh, they smell really good.
There we go.
Really nice. Okay.
Okay. So yes, these are the finished product. And I wanted to show you how, you know, it's going to be, when you test them, by the way, you just want to, they might feel like they're not done yet.
Okay.
But as long as they're not really sticky on your toothpick, then you're all set.
You want them to be a little chewy.
A little bit chewy, exactly.
Okay, great.
Exactly. So these settled down, and so they're kind of dense. And I just typically loosen them up.
Show people what it looks like.
So you want them to cool in the pan, and then you can do a couple different kinds of portions.
She's very generous with her portions.
Well,
I love it.
This would make a really great afternoon snack.
Yeah.
Okay, this is probably just under 200 calories. Really healthy.
Oh, wow.
This will give you a boost. This will level out your blood sugar.
And filling, actually,
And
right?
very filling.
200 calories, that's it. That's great.
Yes, yes,
All right.
yes. Yeah, so sometimes I like to portion them out like that, or, you know, for children, you know, you can do a little bit smaller portion. And then I wrap them in wax paper.
Wax paper.
About, you know, as many as you can fit. I roll up the wax paper and then in a big Ziploc bag, so there might be 12 in that Ziploc bag, and I put them in my freezer. And then you can take them out and defrost in your microwave or just let it air defrost. And they last, you know, up to a month in your freezer.
Fantastic. So shall we give them a try?
Try one.
All right,
Yeah,
great.
try the
great,
chewy
great,
one.
great. I like
In
the
the middle.
chewy ones, actually. My favorite thing to do is eat, but not on camera. Oh, really nice.
Uh-huh.
You can taste the banana.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this came out really banana flavored. Mm-hmm.
This is super hearty, too.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Well,
All
the
right.
oats, yeah, the rolled oats really help, too. Keep you full.
Yeah.
Keep you full longer.
I love that. Okay, so we'll just go over the directions one more time, okay?
The directions for these special protein bars, much healthier than the ones we buy in the stores.
I need my glasses to go over the directions, but...
Oh, okay. I have mine, too.
Okay.
So we have the electric mixer bowl, grease it 8 by 12 inch pan, and bake at 350 or 375 in your oven, depending how your oven is, for about 25 minutes. They'll be dense and chewy. And what else? You can wrap them individually. Keep them refrigerated, by the way.
Oh, okay.
If they're not frozen or eaten up within, well, in the same day, you want to just store them in the refrigerator. Because there's banana in there, so you don't really want them on your counter for 24 hours.
Depending on if you put egg in it as well, right?
True,
Yeah. Okay.
exactly. So refrigerate or freeze or eat right away.
Patty, this has been delicious and informative. I thank you so much. Thanks for coming
Eileen.
in. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for Solutions, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy Healthy New Year.